Most people fail at LinkedIn before they even start. Why? Because no one teaches the fundamentals. Now, after managing 100 plus LinkedIn accounts, I've created a beginner-friendly system that actually works. In fact, one beginner went from 0 to 1,000 followers in 30 days using this exact system. And so today, in this video, I'm going to show you 1, the type of content you should post to hook your ideal clients and prospects into your content, 2, how to get your first 100 connections rapidly, and 3, the daily activities you need to be doing in order to get 1,000 followers fast. Now, the foundation is your profile. And to get your profile right, we have to get the 2 C's right. The 2 C's being 1, congruence, and 2, clarity. And let's go through both of them now. Now, the easiest way to get clarity on your profile to ensure that anyone landing on it just gets it completely within a couple seconds is to craft your headline statement. Now, your headline is that bit of text just below your name on LinkedIn. Now, I know it doesn't look like a huge amount of digital real estate, but it's the very first thing that people look at when they land on a profile. So if you look at that line, we want to make it 2 things. 1, as short as possible, and 2, as clear as possible. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to use an outcome-based headline, which essentially says, helping ICP get result. So for example, helping e-com brands scale their ads, helping midlife professionals scale their career, helping anyone here get result. This is one of the most basic style of headlines and templates, but think of it this way. It's incredibly clear who you help because I've called out the ICP, or the ideal customer persona. And 2, I've very clearly called out the exact type of outcome and result that I generate for this person. Now, when I do that, I'm going to get more inbound inquiries because that's what people buy. They buy outcomes, they don't buy services. Now, I could have a whole video talking about this, but just for now, let's really focus on helping ICP get outcome or get result. And now this is where the next C comes into, it's congruence. Now, if you look at a profile, there are multiple things you can do on a profile to communicate how you help people or what you do. You have your banner, you have your call to action link that just goes beneath your headline, you have your about section, you have your job experiences. There are so many digital pieces of real estate that you can edit the text of in order to communicate to whoever views in your profile. Now, the mistake that I see people make, the number 1 mistake, is they try to use all this space to communicate lots of different ideas, when in fact they should just be re-communicating and re-clarifying the exact first idea we have in our headline. What this practically means is whatever you said in your headline, I basically want you to push across the whole of your profile. We're talking on your banner, on your job experiences, on your about sections. Now, when you use that same idea, that same statement, obviously lengthened on the banner or lengthened on the about section or shortened on the CTA link, you make it very clear on your profile exactly who you're helping and how you're helping them, because you're saying it again and again and again. And what we're doing is we're maximizing the clarity. It's becoming very clear exactly who you help and what you do for them, and it makes your profile incredibly congruent. Now, because of those 2 C's, you get this additional C, and that's confidence. The more clarity and congruence you have on your profile, the more confidence you extrude into the market. People look at that and be like, hey, this guy must know what he's doing, or this girl, simply because he said it or she said it so many times that it's so clear what they do and who they help. Now, over the last 2 years, I've worked out every single post type on LinkedIn. Now, what I mean by that is I went through hundreds of profile, hundreds of thousands of posts, and identified some really clear patterns that when you do a certain post type with a certain format, with a certain hook, you just seem to get results. And that's because we worked out what's resonant on the platform. Now, I'm going to show you what are the post types that you need to be doing in order to get 1,000 followers really fast on LinkedIn. And as a bonus, I'm going to show you a post type that gets you followers and that gets you new clients in your door really quickly. So let's get into it. Now, out of the 4 content pillars that exist on LinkedIn, there are 2 that are really important that we need to focus on in order to get new impressions and new followers onto our account. Now, the content pillars that we have are STEP, that's social proof, trending, education, and personal. And the very first one we're going to focus on is personal. Now, the personal content pillar is filled of lots of different posts, but all have the same objective. The main point of the personal content pillar is to create trust. Now, let me explain what that means in a moment. When you're creating trust on social platforms, you're essentially describing your future states and your past states. Now, what does that mean? It means that you're documenting your learnings, you're sharing your journey, and you're trying to create a connection between you and the reader. Now, if you do the personal content pillar right, people begin to trust you a lot. The personal content pillar is stuff like, before I was a this, now I am a this. Or here's what I'm doing to grow my business, or here's what I learned this week, etc. Now, the problem about the personal content pillar is most people just go and chuck a selfie on a post and chuck it on LinkedIn and it gets a bunch of likes, but that's not going to help you get business results. When we're going to use the personal content pillar, we're going to create posts that always try to speak about the business or the activity that you're building so that we can relate you as a person to the business that you're building and what you're trying to get clients for. So use the personal content pillar in order to create a connection, but also to create a brand association between you and your business. Now, I'm going to show you a couple example personal pillar posts that work really well on our account. So the very first one here is from Paolo. He's my co-founder. He said, in 2021, I sold Aman a service for £35 and 17 pence on Twitter. Like, this is completely true. And in 2024, we made 6 figures together on LinkedIn. I mean, made a lot more, but okay. The first line took 1 post, the second took 7,200 plus posts, and here's the story. And then we just walk through how we got to know each other and the results that we've gotten. This is a personal post because we're talking about how we met, how we got results. This is a picture of myself and Paolo, the Stripe screenshots, and the screenshot of the very first invoice that I had to pay. Now, what's really cool is this posted really well because, one, it creates a bunch of contrast between our before state and our after state. It creates a connection. And as a side point, if you want to build trust with someone on the internet through content, the easiest way is to tell them about your past. So this is a great way that we built trust on the internet. And then if you go through, we then relate this whole story back to what we do, our whole business. And Cheekily is actually a call to action. It's actually a social proof post because we're giving away a case study, but it really works because we related our personal story to our business and we've added a picture of ourselves, which generally does quite well. And we got a bunch of likes and comments on this post. This is an example of a personal post that does really well. Now, a very subtle point in your personal posts is that you should allude to some very magical promised land future. Now, what I mean by that is in your personal post, you might describe some journeys or some histories, but you should end it on a positive note where you describe that you're trying to do something really cool, or you're on track for awesome results, or you are able to help certain people in their businesses. Now, when you do it this way, it gives a reason for people to follow you. So, for example, they may want to track your journey, they may want to get some results from you, they may want to inquire about their services, or they may just like you as a person. Whatever that reason is, you need to give them some positive future promised land in order for them to click that follow button. Now, if you're trying to get followers fast, I suggest doing at least 2 personal posts a week, if not 3, in order to just really push home who you are as a person, what you're doing, and the results that you're getting. The second type of post pillar that you should be doing is the education post pillar. Now, the education post pillar is what you typically see posts that teach people about how to do things. For example, here's how to rank your 100 articles on Google with SEO. Here's how to write an email campaign. All these simple ideas. Now, if you are able to write education posts that educate the market, that teach them how to do things, they feel that they've learned something from you and they want to learn more things from you, so therefore they then click the follow button on your profile. Now, here's a really powerful tip. If you want to use the education pillar to get followers really fast, I want you to do lots of education pillar listicles. What that means is all the education posts you do are going to be listicle style. They're going to be things like the 6 best sales tools, and then you're going to list out the 6 tools. It's going to be things like, here's how to run an email campaign that gets lots of replies, and then you're going to basically break out all those steps. The similar idea between these posts is, one is their X best things, so it's a listicle style, or it's a how to do it in X steps. When you use these 2 post types and you make them really simple topics that anyone can understand and access, they do really well because a lot of people can resonate with them. Now, naturally, when you do a post type like that, that's so broad, that's so easy to understand, you're going to attract a lot of beginners. But if you want to get 1,000 followers fast, the easiest way to do it is to attract a lot of beginners. On the other hand, if you want to take this to another level and you want to get 1,000 followers fast, but you also want to get clients, change that how-to post, so that how to do an email campaign, into how I run email campaigns that generate results. The difference is going from how to how I. Now, when you say how I, you bake in your personal story to this post, and you're able to basically slide in a case study without people really noticing, and we call this edutainment. What we're doing is sliding in a case study into how you do something, and now people associate you with the process and then the end outcome that you're trying to deliver for your clients. So now you have it. You have the 2 main post pillars that you should be doing, personal and education. Now I'm going to give you the most powerful post type that gets you followers pretty quickly and gets you clients, and it's the public goals post type. Now, what the public goal post type is you essentially say, hey, my mission in 2025 is to help X people get Y result. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to mask a call to action for people to inquire with you by relating it to this bigger mission or this bigger goal that they want to follow and join the journey with. And the more you're able to mask that, the better the post performs and the more clients and inbound inquiries you get. So what do I mean by this? Let's say, for example, your mission is to help people land better jobs. Let's say you help specifically people land better sales jobs. I might open the post hook with 5 years ago, I was not making any money, but now I'm making loads of money with my sales job. This is how I did it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm on a mission to help 10 people do the exact same thing where I give them everything I did that got me to that result. If you want to be one of those 10 people, drop a comment, DM me, I'll be happy to share some resources with you. And what you're doing is you're relating this personal story to this big public mission or goal. And the more altruistic you can even make that public goal feel, again, the more comments, the more DMs, the more inbound inquiries you get. So if you want to get followers and clients fast, do it a little bit differently. Use the personal post type, use how I posts, and use a public goals post. Now, before you get overwhelmed and you think, damn, I got to do all this content, I want to clarify something for you. You can get 1,000 followers really fast with just simple text-based posts and an image. You don't need to go into carousels, you don't need to go into videos, you don't even need to go into lead magnets yet. You can really simplify this idea down, and I've done this on accounts before where you literally just have a single text-based post with an image at the end, probably a picture of yourself or a picture of the goal you're trying to get to, and it just does really, really well. And here's the daily system that you need to do in order to make sure this all works. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to log onto LinkedIn and you're going to add 10 to 15 comments onto posts that you see on the feed or on your competitor profiles or other creators that you know are inside your niche that your ICP follows. 2, you're then going to write your post and you're going to publish your post. Your post is going to go out live, and then you're going to comment on another 5 to 10, 15 other comments in the feed or on other profiles and reply to the comments that are landing on your post. Now, why am I talking about comments so much? The LinkedIn algorithm loves comments. They want it to feed the engagement on their platform. So the more comments you can do in and around the time of posting, the better you will perform. And we're looking at a 10 to 30% increase in performance. So you've done your comments, you've done your posts, and the final thing you're going to do is you're going to connect with 20 to 30 new connections every single day. Now, there are a bunch of ways that you can do this. The easiest way that I suggest is you go onto LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you do a search of who you want to connect with, and you plug that search into an automation tool. My favorite one is HeyReach. I got the link for it down below. You plug it in, you send out the connection requests, and as a result, you're regularly connecting with 30 new people a day. And so that way, you're able to grow your following basically on autopilot without having to lift any fingers. And that all in time takes you around 30 to 60 minutes a day. It's actually really, really fast. And so that's it. That's the complete system to getting to 1,000 followers really quickly. But maybe that's not everything. Your goal probably isn't to get followers. Your goal is actually deeper below to get clients. And I've alluded to some ideas on how to get clients through LinkedIn. So if you want to learn how to turn your LinkedIn profile into a machine that can generate $100,000 per month on LinkedIn, that is completely achievable, FYI, then watch this other video where I go through the whole system step by step so that you can get those results. Or you can work one-on-one with me. We will completely work together to get you the results that you want on LinkedIn, which I bet are booking calls. So you just need to click on that link, watch the video to make sure that actually is for you, and then you can book in a call with me and we can get started. So hit subscribe if that helped, add a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.